Hi y'all, it's Christine. I'm here with a different kind of find today. It's not a thrift haul exactly, but a thrift find. This book, Houston Today, a reference book for third grade geography on Houston and the surrounding areas. And this is where I'm from and, well, where I live now. And I've taught not at Houston Public Schools, but in another district in the surrounding area. And third grade was one of the years I taught. And one of the big things you do in third grade is you do a unit on community. So I actually was able to thrift this book. I need to open it carefully because there's a kid's name in it. This book is copyright 2003 Pearson. As you see, it's the Texas edition. One of the huge things for citizenship in third grade and social studies is you learn about communities. What are communities? What kind of communities? People move from place to place. All those lessons that I remember very well because I taught them for a bunch of years. So I thought it was so cool when I found this book, just because I'm a book nerd and I love books, and I love publishing and I love publishers. I've written educational material and some library books for kids. And so I just think it's so cool when I find vintage books, and you can see, like, for instance, I found a book that was done by McGraw-Hill and it was like 1907. And I just think that's so cool because I taught with a spelling book from McGraw-Hill, in the aughts. Are we saying the aughts? So I thought it was cool that I have this book just as a memory of like what I taught. And I always go backwards. I don't know why. I read magazines backwards too. I don't know what to tell you about that. But so I thought it'd be really cool when I saw this book. I thought, okay, I have to look at this and see what they did in 1961. Of course, it's a little scary because Texas has a very fraught history, and so we shall see what we see, but I thought it was what a treasure in terms of history. It's starting to come apart. I love on the back, got good old Texas there with the Gulf Coast, and yeah, isn't that cool? So I'm gonna open it up and we'll look at it together and see what we see, and hopefully we won't be horrified, but there might be some difficult things, but also I think it's interesting to look at how things have changed. So Houston Today. And interesting, the references they used, 1958, 1942. Interesting, Houston and the surrounding area, a handbook for third grade teachers, Houston Public School, 1958. Hammond, of course, if you are a map nerd like me, you know Hammond atlases. Rand McNally. And Rand McNally also did some children's books that I wasn't aware of until I got into this junk journaling, reusing book community. And Houston Magazine, really interesting. Okay, so introduction, our city, our Houston, homes, kind of homes. I'm very interested to see this. Weather and climate, causes of our weather. And this is so what I remember teaching, right? Globes, map symbols, earth. Oh, interesting. This will be food for our families in Harris County. So Harris County is a very big county in Texas. It includes Houston. And I think it's about 70 miles wide at its widest point. It's a very, very big county. So it'll be interesting to see how much they include. I won't get too much into this because, maybe you're not like so into the history, but I'm like clothing materials. I mean, if you are into this, like as people say, grab a cup of coffee, grab a bottle of water, and let's look at it. Colleges and universities, Chamber of Commerce. I am the kind of nerd who occasionally would watch the public access Houston channel, and that's how I learned a lot about Houston, because I just find it interesting. I find just about everything very interesting, and I love to see how things come together and work together, and like the fact that there's been so much building in the northwest part of the county that now we're having flood problems, and I learned that in the early 2000s on the municipal channel, because they talked about how the Houston Metroplex area basically has 2 bathtub drains, and one of them used to be up in the northwest of the county where it's been paved over, and then one is the Gulf, and so now we're having a lot of flooding problems because there's nowhere for that water to go, so it all comes down to, teaching moment, comes down to this area of the Gulf Coast where we are, and there's a lot of flooding along the way. So downtown Houston, it'll be interesting to see. I went on a tour of Houston with a homeschool group, a secular homeschool group, and that was really interesting to see the history part of it. The Allen brothers, Allen Parkway, that's a big thing. Men who did big things, okay? It's interesting because one of the big stories in Houston is it was a woman who made one of the biggest buildings. She finished it in our downtown skyline. So we'll see Heart of Houston hospitals. If you don't know, Houston has a huge medical center, Texas Medical Center, and maps. Let's start with the maps. Let's do it, Texas Medical Center, because that will be very interesting. Unfortunately, I know the medical center very well because I have some struggles, so I am curious. Let's go to page 66. Texas Medical Center. Okay, for you Houston nerds, this is going to be interesting. Rice Institute, that's now Rice University. We have MD Anderson, which some of you may have heard of, even if you don't live in Houston. It's a really, really amazing cancer facility. It is, I do not believe it is there anymore. Oh dear, the language, okay. Baylor College of Medicine, Methodist Hospital. Methodist Hospital is still there today. Texas Children's Hospital, still there. Wow, that's really interesting if you're if you're a Texas nerd. Okay, interesting. Neighborhood shopping areas. Gulf Gate is a pretty stressed area now. River Oaks is still there. Meyerland, Garden Oaks, the Village, Post Oak, and Westbury. Interesting. Museums. So if you have a brownie troop, you might want to, or Cub Den, go to the Museum of Natural Science. Still there. Still very cool. I've never been to the San Jacinto Battleground. Let's see, just look at, sorry. Let's see what else is in here. The Museum of Fine Arts still there, gorgeous. If you are in the area, you should go. Parks, Miller Outdoor Theater still there. Well, let's look at some pictures because that might be a bit more interesting if you're not actually a Houston resident. Let's see. Our city, Houston, the city of Houston. Try to make that straight for you all. Central Business Area, Memorial Park. I do find Houston very satisfying because it has an inner loop now, an outer loop, an outer loop, and an outer loop, and then there's 2 mostly north-south highways and 2 east-west. So I find that very pleasing because it's easy to get, I think it's easy to get around. It's wild to me how little there is here. Let's see. Oh, there's a poem. I'll read it to you. Houston, one dot among millions on a map, the largest city in Houston sitting on the seacoast lap. Thousands of people learn and worship, work and play, building our city from day to day, making it a great dot among millions. Bayou City with moss-colored trees, tall grand buildings, and growing industries. Commerce City with a busy, bustling port visited by ships carrying goods of every sort. A great moving city of friendly, busy people and wide, clean streets with many, many cars, very true. A green, fertile city, also true, full of trees and lazy parks. A happy, homey city, Houston, of which we're proud to be a part. How fun. How climate, I'm gonna have to read more of this. How climate affects us. Planning and building in Houston. Utilities used in the home. Coal and oil. In many parts of the United States, winters are cold. Homes are heated for many months. Most of them are heated with coal or oil. Not many are heated by natural gas. Natural gas. In Houston and Harris County, we have to heat our homes only a part of the time each winter. True. Lucky to have a large amount of natural gas nearby. There's no soot or smoke when it is burned. The people in Texas use only about half of the natural gas produced in Texas. I would love to look this up now and see what's still true and what's not. I do know that when it says everybody working together, one of the most diverse cities in the country. I think we've dropped to the 5th position for size. We used to be, I think it's like New York, LA, Chicago, and now I think Dallas-Fort Worth, but you can argue with me about that because that's 2 cities, but that's okay. So Houston used to be 4, now we're 5. Finding our cities on the map and globe. Here's an old Texas map. If you're not from around here, Houston, we are here, right here with the port of Houston, the ship channel. It's a very big deal. That's why we're here. This is the traditional land of the Karankawa Indians, and they have been successful in getting some of their land back along the coast, closer to Corpus Christi, so that's very cool. And it sounds like I'm gonna get interrupted soon on this video, so I better finish up. Oh boy, there's the Psalms, okay. Some things are going back to that, unfortunately. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, I already showed you the Houston map. Yeah, so Waller, so from here to here is about 70 miles. And I used to be a social worker for a short time, and we covered all of Harris County. And I remember one time I got lost up here, and my boss was like, well, if you got into Liberty County, you've gotten too far. And I was like, yeah, but how do you know you're in Liberty County? So let's see, cattle, rice, fruit, and vegetables, clothing in Houston, clothing factories. I'm gonna have to spend some time with this book. Let's see if there are any more fun pictures before I go. Okay, highways at the time. You're not gonna be able to see this. Let's see, 59's still there, 149's still there, 290's still there, US 90, which is now I-10, 59, 288. Oh, interesting. All right, let's see. Well, this has been cool, y'all. Thank you so much for flipping through this book with me. I know that I get really excited about things that maybe other people don't get excited about, but when you're a teacher, especially for so many years of this particular subject matter, it's just so interesting to me to see, you know, what was there and compare it to the textbook that I taught with. And I'm curious to see what the textbooks look now. So this is a big deal too, the Port of Houston, the Houston Ship Channel. It's part of why we're so diverse. It's part of why we have so many people. Let's see. Import report. Interesting. Wow. From far and near to dock right here. Did you ever hear of things so odd? Like 60 drums of cocoa crumbs and silver skin onions, 21 tons, zircon sand from Queensland, or potted ham out of Rotterdam. So interesting, important. Oh, a map of downtown Houston. I'm gonna compare this to a Houston map now. The Allen brothers. Interesting, interesting. Well, thanks for hanging out with me and looking at this. If you're still here, I just think it's so neat to look at things that were and how things are now. And I hope you have a great night, and yeah, stay curious. Bye.